Hello and welcome to the next YouTube video on my channel. In this video I will show you a checkmate and 6 move strat that you can do with the black chess pieces. Of course, it's not a 100% chance that you're going to win with this strat after 6 moves, but you will still have a big advantage against your opponent after the first several moves. So let's get started. At first I will show you how it would look like if the trap will work perfectly. So the opponent will do every single move that you want him to do. So it starts with pawns e4, e5. Now white plays the pretty classical move with knight f3. And now you play a very unusual move, and that's the main move of the Latvian gambit, pawn f5, attacking white's e4 pawn. And now the white army has the chance to take out both of your pawns. Your pawn on e5 with the knight, and your pawn on f5 with the pawn. Let's say first pawn takes. Then you bring out your bishop on c5, and now the white knight takes your pawn on e5. So till now you have already gifted 2 of your pawns, but now you also sacrifice your bishop. So you take out the white pawn on f2 with your bishop on c5 with a check, and after the white king has taken out your bishop on f2 with his knight, you set the white knight a check with your queen with the move on h4. And after the white king has escaped on g1, you set a checkmate on d4 with the queen. You have won. How I've already said, it won't of course work like this in all of the cases. But still, after the first 2 moves, you surprise your opponent, because the Latvian gambit is a very rare chess opening. You challenge your enemy in the center of the chessboard, and you do this with giving him one of your pawns. So, after the white pawn on e4 has taken out your pawn on f5, you can of course continue with the trap, but you can also don't do the trap, but rather attack the center with moves like knight c6, or also pawn d5, pawn d6, and so on. But if you want to play this trap, then you play bishop c5. So if white takes out your second pawn, so the pawn on e5 with this knight, you can either, again, continue with the trap, play bishop f2, setting a check, or you also don't have to play this trap, but you can also again attack the center of the chessboard, because the center of the chessboard is the most important place on the whole chessboard. You can now continue with again moves like pawn d5. You can also play queen f6, attacking both of the pieces, so white's knight on e5 and white's pawn on f5 at the same time. But you can also play a very interesting move. You develop your pawn on d6, attacking the knight of white, and if he moves away, like for example here, or again here, you take out white's pawn on f5 with your bishop like this. So if you have decided to continue playing this trap, then after you have taken out white's pawn on f2 with your bishop setting a check, and the white king has taken out your bishop, you check the white king here with your queen with the move on h4. If the queen escapes now on g1, you just instantly set a checkmate on d4 with the queen. But in most of the cases, your opponent playing the king here isn't that dumb. If the king escapes on e2, you just set a check again, but this time on e4, and after the white king has moved away, not important where, it can be, oh no, you can only escape on f2, then you can just take out his knight on e5, which is also pretty good. If the king escapes on f3, which actually never happened to me before, and I really often play this trap, then you can't set a good check anymore and fork the white army, but then you're just standing way better than your opponent, and you can continue with, for example, attacking white's knight on e5 with the move with your pawn from d6 to d7, from d7 to d6, of course. But in most of the cases, the knight on e2, which is attacked from your queen on h4, won't try to move away on squares like e2, f3, or e3 or g1, but he will rather just block your check, and he will do this with the move with pawn g3 attacking your queen. And now it's pretty simple again. You just fork the white army again. So you check the king with queen d4. And now it doesn't matter on which square the king will escape. You can just take out white's knight on e5. So if the king escapes on g2, you just take out the knight with the queen. If the king escapes on e2 or e1, you take out the knight with the check, and after the king has moved away again, or for example, blocked the check with bishop e2, you can also take out white's pawn here. But if the king escapes from this check here on f3, which is actually the worst move you can do something better, something very, very good. And it's also better than just taking out white's knight on e5. You can set a check again on d5 with the queen. And after the king has moved away from the check, after he's escaped, let's say for example on f2, you can take out white's rook here on h1. That was it then already with this YouTube video, in which I have shown and explained to you my favorite checkmate in 6 move strat with the black chess pieces. I hope you liked it, and I hope you'll also try out this strat once in a real chess game. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to see more chess traps on this YouTube channel, feel free to write this in the comments. Till next time, bye!